Hello everyone, welcome to Everything Football and welcome to another UCL fantasy video. This time we will be talking about the Limitless chip. Some of you still have a Limitless chip. I think right now is kind of the best time to use it. If you don't use it right now, maybe until the final. Actually, the best time to use it is actually in the group stage, but some of you saved it and still doing well. I've seen someone in the rank of 1,000 and they still have the Limitless chip. That is absolutely crazy. So who are the best players to have right now without worrying about the budget? I've put together a team and let's get started. So what I've done is I'm going to talk about different positions at different times. I don't have to go like goalkeeper, then defenders, then midfielders. No, I'm going to mix it up. And I'm actually going to start with the forward players. Let's start with the midfielders, actually, the forward kind of midfielder. Yes, Vinicius Jr. He was absolutely incredible against Chelsea in the first leg. I think he had something like almost 20 touches in Chelsea's box, and Chelsea as a team, I think, had less than 10 touches in Real Madrid's box. So that is definitely something to consider. He's absolutely fantastic. He basically ripped apart the likes of Fofana and James, gave them a very, very hard time. And in the second leg, when Chelsea have to attack, when Reece James has to go forward, and leave spaces in behind with Vinicius coming up against Fofana once again, or Chalobah on that side, is going to be another fantastic game for Vinicius. He could have scored a couple in the first leg, but he got instead he got an assist for Benzema's goal, and he basically contributed to the two goals and the assist for Asensio's goal as well. So Vinicius was absolutely superb. Could have had more attacking returns. So he is the first pick for this week, Vinicius Junior. The second pick we are going to go for, we are going to stick with Real Madrid. We are going to stick with this partner, and we are going to go for Karim Benzema. Last season he was absolutely fantastic. This season has not been quite as good as last season, but again, just like I said about Vinicius, Chelsea are not looking good at all. I do expect Real Madrid to win the second leg once again. It could be like 2-1 or 3-1 or something like that. So Benzema and Vinicius, when Benzema scores, it's going to be Vinicius who assists, and when Vinicius scores, Benzema will definitely have something to do with it. So definitely go for him as well. Since you don't have to worry about any budget, I think Benzema and Vinicius double up is almost certain. You can even go for a third player like Valverde in midfield. He got himself in some good positions, took a couple of good shots, but he's not as forward as Benzema and Vinicius in the game. You want someone in the Chelsea box consistently, and that is Benzema and Vinicius. And I'm going to go with we are not done with Real Madrid yet. I'm going to also go with their goalkeeper, and that is Thibaut Courtois. Chelsea did not score in the first leg. Courtois made a couple of very, very good saves. One of them from Sterling. So if Chelsea don't score, and they will go for it next week. If they don't score, you bet that Courtois has gotten a couple of save points as well to go with this clean sheet. So it could be a very big game for Courtois. You never know, he can save a penalty as well. The likes of Havertz are not very good at penalties. He's had a penalty saved already this season. So I think Courtois at the back as well is pretty good at 5.9 million. Not that you worry about the budget at all. You're playing a limitless chip. You don't have to worry about that at all. And I think they're definitely going to be in the semi-final as well. Again, if you're playing a wild card, you have to look at that. But if you're playing a limitless, you're only worried about this match day. And once again, we are not done with Real Madrid. We are going to go for the defender as well. I do have this player in my team, Carvajal. He could have gotten an assist for Vinicius in the first leg, but it was saved and then it dropped to Benzema, and Benzema finished it. Carvajal could have had a goal. He also picked up kind of a silly yellow card, so he could have had more points. I think he also had like 2 or 3 recoveries in the game, so that is not bad at all. So I've gone for 4 Real Madrid players for this match day. I think they will shine. The experience will show once again. And even if they concede and Carvajal and Courtois don't keep clean sheets, you have the forward players, I expect them to do something. And Carvajal can still get recovery points. Courtois can still get save points. So it's not going to be like 1 pointers or something. No, the least it can be for me, I expect is like 3 points for Carvajal and Courtois. But I'm expecting it to be more than that. If they don't deliver, you will have a couple of players on the bench to change to for the guys who are playing on Wednesday. But that is one goalkeeper picked, one midfielder, one defender, and also one striker. Next up, I am going to head to another team that won comfortably 2-0 in the first leg. That is Inter Milan. Bastoni was absolutely amazing. We are going to go with him. Inter Milan and AC Milan this season, they usually pack the bus in one of the legs, and Inter Milan kept a clean sheet away to Benfica. Don't be surprised if this game ends 0-0. Inter Milan 0, Benfica 0. This season, Inter Milan in the Champions League, the likes of Onana, Bastoni, they've kept, I think they've kept 6 clean sheets in the Champions League this season out of the how many games that they played? 9. That is very, very good, meaning they don't concede at all. They do very, very well. So don't be surprised if Benfica don't get a goal, and if they don't, that means a clean sheet for Bastoni. I think he got to play out the match last game. Let me just confirm that. I'm not 100% sure. He played against, let's see. Yeah, he actually got to play of the match against Benfica. He got an assist as well in that game. I didn't realize that. He also got a clean sheet, obviously. So I'm going to go for him. I was thinking about Dumfries, but I don't know the situation with their centre backs, if they will be back, which means Damian could play at right back. So I've gone for the safe option, which is Bastoni at the back and also a home fixture against Benfica. I think that is good. And to get down with the goalkeepers, I am going to go with Ederson. Ederson will play on the very next day after Courtois up against Bayern Munich. You expect Bayern Munich, just like Chelsea, to go for it. They have to get at least 3 goals if they want to win. So they will be taking a lot of shots. And if Sané takes as many shots as he did last week, it's going to be fantastic because Ederson made a lot of saves from those Sané shots. I don't think he will take that many shots though, just in case he gets punched up with Mane once again. So it won't happen though. Ederson and Koto, I think that's a good goalkeeping partnership to go for. You can still go for the likes of Onana if you prefer. You can still change it to. I wouldn't go for Kepa really, but I really think Courtois and Ederson are the best. But if you feel like Benfica are going to turn around, Napoli are going to turn it around, you can go for the likes of Vlaco Dimos or the likes of Merit, whichever you prefer. But I've gone for the 2 solid picks. I expect both of them to qualify for the semi-final. I think both of their teams could be solid. Both of their teams could get another clean sheet once again. You never know. So that is my second choice goalkeeper. Second choice goalkeeper is not second choice, but in terms of the GCL fantasy, the keeper you're going to use second if Courtois doesn't keep a clean sheet. Let's head over to Manchester City and let's talk about KDB. There is a slight chance he might not start, but since they really want to win the Champions League, I think it definitely starts. He could easily be rested over the weekend against Leicester and then start against Bayern Munich. Actually, you know what? I think it definitely starts against Bayern Munich because they really want to win the Champions League. They cannot take any risks. I mean, if you don't start De Bruyne and then Bayern score early, all of a sudden they only need 2 goals. And I actually say they need 3 goals to win. They need 4 goals to win. They lost 3-0. Correction for that. They lost 3-0 last time. So De Bruyne, maybe if Man City score a couple, they could be subbed off, but I think he will start, depending on the tactics. Pep Guardiola is never really the manager to park the bus. With a 3-goal lead, many teams will go there and play a back 5 with 3 solid midfielders and 2 forward players. But I think Pep Guardiola will go for it once again. And if he goes for it once again, if De Bruyne starts and gets an assist, you know who will be assisting? Obviously, Erling Haaland. He has to be in the team. This guy is a machine. He scored 45 goals this season. That is just absolutely incredible. So you have to go for him. Do I ever need to explain my reason? You don't really need to hear a reason for bringing in Erling Haaland. It's absolutely fantastic. And I think those would be the 2 Man City players you can go for. We don't get to see their team news next week, so don't really know if Foden will be back or Grealish will start once again. Will Mahrez start once again? I would expect Mahrez to start in the Premier League over the weekend, and then maybe Bernardo Silva comes back for that. So it's kind of hard to predict. They could start with Mahrez and drop Bernardo Silva to the bench. There's a risk of rotation there. And then let's get back to the defense and let's talk about Theo Hernandez. Theo Hernandez. AC Milan, once again, just like Inter Milan, they love clean sheets in the Champions League. They've kept 5 clean sheets in a row in the Champions League. They just don't concede goals at all. 5 clean sheets in a row in the Champions League. They do love parking the bus, especially now that they have a good 1-0 lead. They don't have to squat Napoli. They can just go there and park the bus. The last time they went to Napoli in the league, like 3 weeks ago, they beat them by 4-0. So they could easily keep a clean sheet, or even if they don't, Theo Hernandez loves getting forward. So I think that is a good option. I think he's the best defender in terms of having him in UCL fantasy from AC Milan. And then yet another defender we are going to talk about is going to be from Benfica. I was thinking about to double up on Inter Milan, but I think it's good to mix it up, mainly because of his attacking potential. That is Grimaldo. He still got forward against Inter Milan last game. He took a couple of shots, so he can still get you a goal or an assist or something like that. So So Grimaldo is the pick that I have from Benfica. And I was thinking about going for the forward players. You can still go for Mario, you can still go for Rafa Silva, but I've avoided them because of the risk of Inter Milan packing the bus. So I can't see it being a high scoring game. It could easily be a 0-0 or 1-1. So I've just gone for Grimaldo. If you want the likes of Mario, it's up to you. But for now, I'm going to stick with Grimaldo only. Next up, we are going to go to Napoli. Kvaratskhelia has to be there, whether it's 20 million or there's 4 million. He was unlucky not to score against AC Milan in the first leg. Very unlucky not to score. I think it was a good save from is it Mayan? I like calling him. I think it's Mayan. That's how to say it. I know it's Maignan. I still don't know how to pronounce that name, but he made a good save from Kvaratskhelia. So it's fun. Yeah, I know how to pronounce Kvaratskhelia, but not Maignan. It's crazy. So Kvaratskhelia at 5.9 million, I think it's going to be good. Napoli have to go for it, and you know their potential in terms of scoring goals. So I have gone for him, and he's not the only player I'm going to go for from Napoli. Now, there's a player who has been out the last couple of weeks, but he should be back for this one. I think the coach confirmed that he will be back for this one. He has a red flag at the moment, Osimhen, but he should be back. If you don't want to risk it, if you don't want to go that direction, if you're still fearful, he could have an injury. He might get subbed off early or only come on as a sub. You can just remove Osimhen and bring in the likes of Rafa Silva if you prefer, if you want a player from Benfica, or even Dzeko, Lukaku from Inter Milan if we prefer. Leao is also another option from AC Milan. Giroud as well, literally up to you, but I've gone for Osimhen. And then Napoli, I expect that to be a high scoring game this time. I don't expect listen, it could easily end 0-0 if AC Milan pack the bus, but I do expect Napoli to get on the score sheet. So I'm actually going to go for like a 2-1 Napoli, which will mean extra time, which will mean more points for us. If they go to extra time, it would be even more beneficial. They can get more goals in extra time. And then let's talk about Bayern. In my team in the first leg, I didn't have any Bayern Munich players. It worked out great because they literally did not do anything in the first leg. They didn't score. They didn't keep a clean sheet. I am going to go with their midfielders. And the first midfielder I'm going to go for is Leroy Sané. I don't think he'll want to be punched again, so he'll make sure to score. He took a lot of shots in the first leg. He was quite unlucky not to score. He took so many shots. He looked a threat. He looked like the only option Bayern had. The likes of Gnabry were quiet. The likes of Coman were quiet. Sané was only one who looked like he could do something for them. So I've gone for him at 9.3 million, and they have to go for it. They have to score 3 goals just to get a draw. So they have to go for it. They have to go all guns blazing, even if it means they concede a couple of goals on the other side. They just have to go for it. But there is a slight risk, like if City go 5-0 ahead or 5-1 ahead, these guys could be subbed off. But I think he plays at least 70 minutes. Now, the other midfielder, I've really been thinking about it. Who should we go for? Is it Kimmich? Should we go for another Napoli midfielder? Should we even go for another Man City midfielder like a Grealish? Should we double up on Real Madrid in midfield and go for Valverde? But you know what? I'm not sure if he's going to start, but as a differential, I'm going to put in Mane. We don't get to see the team news, but that's why you need to take the risk. You'll have him on the bench because he plays on the second day, and then you wait for the team news on that Wednesday. If he starts, you bring him straight in. If he doesn't, you just leave him on the bench. But I think playing a limitless chip, you don't have to worry about the budget. If you're playing a wildcard or just making transfers, it's slightly a risk to have 10.6 million on the bench and not know if they're going to start or not. But on a limitless chip, you can take the risk and go for him. But you can also go for Gnabry or Coman if you think they're going to start, or also Musiala. But I've gone for Mane because he didn't start in the first leg. Now that they have to go for it, I think he might start. I think Muller might start. That is another option in terms of forward players. Muller. In terms of the last defender that I've picked, I've gone for a team that I think will concede goals, but he looked very threatening in terms of going forward. And I'm going to go for Reece James. Like, he was unlucky not to get a goal and an assist in the first game. Just like Sané with Bayern, Reece James was the only one who looked, alongside N'Golo Conte, they're the only ones who looked like they could do something for Chelsea on that day. Yes, he got skinned by Vinicius while defending, but when he was going forward, they were giving him a lot of spaces because Vinicius was not really tracking back to defend. And Kamavinga as well, not a natural left back. He was going forward, getting into midfield as well. So I think James could get a bit of space. He won't keep a clean sheet for sure, but he can get you an attacking return, which would be good. And running back and forth, that would get you recovery points as well. So that is how the Limitless team is looking. You can see it's minus 11.8. So in total, this team will cost you like how much? Like more than 120 million, I think. Around 117 million there. So if you don't have the limitless chip, you cannot have this team. You'd have to downgrade a few players. If you have your wild card, you're going to have to like maybe drop Mane to a Musiala, maybe drop De Bruyne to a Grealish. But as of now, let me quickly recap it. I've gone for the goalkeeper, Courtois and Edison. In terms of the midfield, I have gone midfield. Why do I keep skipping to midfield? In terms of the defenders, I've gone for Carvajal, Bastoni, Theo Hernandez, Grimaldo, and Reece James. Midfield, Vinicius, De Bruyne, Kvaratskhelia, Sane, and Mane. And then forward line of Benzema, Haaland, and Osimhen. Those are 4 Real Madrid players. We've also gone for 3 Man City players. We've also gone for 2 Bayern Munich players. We've gone for a player each from Inter Milan and also from AC Milan. We've gone for 2 from Napoli, and we've also gone for a Chelsea defender, Benfica defender. I think that's a good mix-up. You don't have to go for this exact team. As I said, if you don't want Osimhen, he will be back for the game, but if you don't want him, you can go for Muller if he starts. You can go for Rafael Leao from AC Milan. You can go for Dzeko, Lukaku from Inter Milan. If you don't want Mane, Musiala is an option. The likes of Grealish or Bernardo Silva could be options. Valverde could be an option as well. Defensively, I think Carvajal has to be in your team. If you feel like Militao could be good as well, you can go for him. Almost got a goal in the first leg, but for now, also you don't have to go for Reece James, for example. If you feel like Chelsea are going to be thumped and you won't do anything, you can double up on Inter Milan's defense or double up on AC Milan's defense, literally up to you. But that is what we have. As of now, I really appreciate you guys watching. Let me know if you still have your limitless chip and how many points you would be targeting. Thank you for watching, and I'll catch up with you on the next one.